because Barkas going nowhere with the ladies.
For the second time, he picks up a pair of queens. And this is when timing is everything, because Papagiorgio has found a big hand in ace-jack and a very, very classy laydown. He knows this guy bets when he's got something big. He's sussed him out.
Just a part of the beautiful game there, Papagiorgio. A big hand, four-handed, worthless to the Barkas raised, and he really knew his man. I mean, I guess that's the extra level at tournament poker, not just knowing your cards, but having a good sense of the other players.
Yes, and obviously, when you meet strangers around a table, and these players will probably never have bumped into each other, may never bump into each other again. You haven't got a clue what the person's like, and somehow you have to get that information as quickly as you can.
I think the winter parka is a good clue.
Raise.
Bundled up.
28,000 total.
And Dave Clayton saying he will play for all of Nauenberg's stack, takes the blinds, and Jens down to nearly chip and chair stage.
Nauenberg puts in a small blind. It means he's got a couple more goes before the blinds get round to him, but he must be starting to think that this money's got to go, the chips have got to go in the next 2-3 hands.
Well, I mean, he's in a situation where if he lets the blinds pass him one more round, he has to double up just to get back where he is now, which I guess may encourage him to take a flyer.
If anybody bets from Papagiorgio and Clayton and he finds any type of hand, he may go all in.
Could have been an automatic all in.
Call?
But a call from Barkas.
He gets called, and you can't wait to see this hand. Oh, you just can't believe it. 3 times he's had the queens, and Nuremberg's in all sorts of trouble with only 2 jacks to help him out.
Yeah, you have to feel bad for Jens here.
There's the shake hands. Goodbye. But you never know.
He's about 8-1 against here.
Which is nice to know, because recently in a tournament I was in a very similar situation and 2 jacks came.
And that's a chance for Nauenberg. 2 jacks in the deck now for him to get out of smoke.
Not so easy for Barkas to improve with a queen, as one of those is already gone.
Here's the turn. Is it a hook? It's not.
Well, a king would be interesting. That would be a split pot. So he's got 6 cards now working for him.
And that, unfortunately, for Jens Nauenberg is a miss. 2 jacks, not good enough. Nauenberg a bit aggrieved to find he's run into 2 ladies. Hope on the flop, but the turn and river were dry. 2 queens beating 2 jacks. And this game is 3-way.
No one to play with? There's always PartyPoker.com.
Barkas did qualify online, so in order to get to this stage, he had to come through some tough fields. And you have to imagine that he's got that extra gear to his game.
Pass.
But we'll wait to see it.
Raise.
Certainly Clayton's got it.
It's just got to be done. You've got to do it. And they all know it's up for offer. And unless he's got a big hand, oops, then he's not going to play back. But if he does play back, what's he got?
Call.
Oh.
There's a little bit of slow play. Now he's learnt that from Jens next door. Perhaps it's rubbed off.
Well, Barkas has got the ace-king in his mitten. I guess
he should have re-raised, though, should he? If a jack comes, now where is he? Perhaps he's just going to see what happens and hope for an ace. Well, isn't it amazing? It's as if we knew what cards were coming. Top pair's got a bet, or can't really check. Can he?
12,000.
Little tiddly bet. Now, well, he's got 2 overcards. He could be forgiven for raising,
Call.
and he just calls. Oh, he's digging a little hole here. Unless he's trying to present a massive hand.
Barkas needs an ace or king. He hasn't caught it. And is Clayton worried about his kicker?
Oh,
Check.
I think I might have put a £20,000 bet in. Yeah, dollar bet. Well, now Barkas must think he's got a good hand. Was he trapping there?
Check. Red check.
Surely Clayton can't throw this jack away. Surely he can't.
Barkas could get out of jail here, but he hasn't. And will Clayton get a payoff now?
16,000.
Big decision for
Call.
Barkas, and he had to call, really. He committed himself to calling.
Good hand.
Well, he lost his lunch there. And that is the death that trappers die, isn't it, Steve? Ace King only good until the flop comes down.
Dave Clayton raised with rubbish.
3-6, is it?
Big blind for the first time
The next one, check.
in Tom Barkas. Didn't show the strength of the hand he had, and has paid the price.
The upshot of this hand as well may be, Steve, that Dave Clayton has finally been found out. He's made lots of moves tonight, but that was the first time he had to turn his hand over.
Yes, but I don't think he's really going to be sussed out by Barkas. So I don't think that without being too disrespectful, it just doesn't seem to be that Barkas plays the player so much as the cards. That's my overview of the situation. But what Clayton wants, obviously, now is some good cards to raise with. And they're not bad, 3-handed. More interestingly, Andy
Pass.
Papagiorgio's the one that's thinking about what's happening. And
20.
perhaps he doesn't believe
Raise 20,000.
that
total.
Clayton had a good hand.
Well, every
That's a
action,
great move,
yeah.
that is.
Every action has a reaction, and the Jack 3 that Clayton showed means that Papagiorgio says right away, I saw, I don't believe, take this. 7-4 takes the
Pass.
pot, and that's strong again.
Marvellous play. He doesn't know how
That's the last time
close
we've
to the edge he was, though, because
Dave Lawrence
it was a
was
credible
5-10.
hand, 2-handed,
And we'll have to
3-handed.
do that.
And 200,000 is the average chips. Nobody too far ahead or behind here. This is wide open. And with the blinds at 5 and 10,000, it's pretty much going to become a game of blind stealing, I guess.
It certainly is. Now it's worthwhile starting to go through the gears. And I think perhaps the player around the table who has the most respect and has the fear factor is Papagiorgio. Certainly they'll respect his raises. They will respect Tom Barkas' raises, but they'll know roughly what he's got, you would expect. Dave Clayton, well, he's been moving around a bit, so they may not believe Dave Clayton. Let's see how this one unfolds. Papagiorgio with a king 6 in the small blind, worth a raise. A king's a good card with,
42.
That's a pretty big raise there.
doesn't really want to call. Oops. And can he flat call and slow play? Or what do you do?
I mean, this is the perfect situation.
Exactly.
And Clayton has slow played this. He might catch Papagiorgio out here. And the good news for Papagiorgio is that he's missed completely. Let's see how deep he's willing to go. I think
Check.
He's already put the brakes on. Well, he's got to check now, Clayton, really, if he wants to trap him. Oh, I thought he might do. Well, I suppose you've got to be careful. There was the possibility of a straight out there, but there was no possibility of a flush being made. He could have checked. I think perhaps Jans Nuremberg would have. Papagiorgio can't believe this is a bluff and he's in front, can he?